そそるぜこれは。
What's good, everyone, and welcome back to the Nostalgia Plus Ultra podcast. My name is Nostalgia. Joining me is As Told by Zoe. What's good, my guy?
What's good, man?
Not much, man. I'm chilling. Before we started recording, I was just a tad bit irritated, but we'll get into the later. We'll get to that in the later part of the episode. But I'm excited to be recording again. One thing I can say is I see that some people are enjoying the jukebox episode. I got some. The downloads jumped between day 3 and day 4 when it turned in terms of how many it got. So I really appreciate those that are actually listening to it. And
Sick.
if you found some songs off of the jukebox playlist, and there will be another one coming out after this episode as well. Excuse me. So if you found any song off of that playlist, I really appreciate it. I hope you like the songs. That's basically what I guess our goal for it is. It's just even if you don't like all 10 or 12 songs that are on the playlist, as long as you can grab one or two that you like and you can kind of go down that rabbit hole of that artist discography and discover more music, that's like a big plus. That's like, a big thing for the both of us. We really like sharing music, and the more frequently we can share music with all of you guys is a plus for us. So if you enjoyed the jukebox episode, we will be making more. I don't know when the next one's going to come out. I probably got to schedule some out and figure it out and stuff, because I know there are some new music releases that came out like recently that are pretty good. So maybe we can lump those in on the back end with our music review stuff for that second jukebox episode if we come across it. But yeah, so got a few things on today for the talking points. I know, Zoe, you said you wanted to kind of go into some gaming stuff to start the episode.
There is
what's the deal, my guy?
there is something I think we should cover. It is have you heard of Jason R?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, so he's kind of been put on blast because he's an FPS streamer. So he streams a lot of like probably Call of Duty. I know he does Valorant. He was put on blast because every time he queued up with a girl, he would like pretend he had like connection problems and like leave the lobby.
Oh no.
And he never did it like outright like, oh, I can't play with women, but still it was creepy.
Yeah, you do it enough times,
And
people are
then-
gonna start catching on.
And then he got called out, and a bunch of people, like they made a joke about him at the Streamer Awards, which is run by 2 women. And then yesterday, have you heard of the streamer Tarek?
I have before, yeah.
He's again another FPS streamer. I think he won best FPS streamer.
Okay.
He plays with Jason R, but he tweets out. This is the first thing I heard about this drama. He tweets out, I don't care about my viewership. If you're my boy, I'll still play with you because I think you're my boy, but I'm not gonna stand for shit that I don't agree with. And
what's crazy? I saw that. That was like on like a Twitter like recommended that tweet to me, and I had no idea what was going on. I was confused.
So there's a lot of clips going around of Tarek and Jason R are queued up with one of their friends. One of their friends is just sitting on mute listening to this, like on stream. And they were fighting, and Jason R keeps telling him like, oh, dog, I get it. I get why you're going against me. And Tarek is like, dog, I'm not going against you because of nothing. I don't agree with you. I think what you did was fucked up. Sure. And then Jason R says some shit like, dude, the reason why I don't play with women is to respect my wife, which is a cop-out.
A huge
cop out. But then Cutie Cinderella, who one very big streamer, ran the streamer awards. She made everything that has to do with the streamer awards. She tweeted out a screenshot, and she put, "Man, I'll probably, whoever's editing this will put a screenshot up. It's, man, I would hate to disrespect my wife by playing games with women and having them in my chat, but the screenshot is a like of his, and he liked some random girl's like thirst trap, like in her underwear and shit."
Yikes.
So it was
big yikes.
And the biggest thing was, it was like Jason R trying to defend that he's not a misogynist. Also Jason R. And there's like a clip of him being like, "Tarek, you're handling this like a girl."
Yikes.
Yeah, it's this whole thing, it was really bad.
Oh no, that's really bad. Wait, you know what's funny? Didn't like Ninja get not in trouble, because obviously, like, you know, streamers like that can just bounce back in another like 2 weeks or so.
Yeah.
But didn't Ninja get in trouble with the same thing, where he was like,
yeah,
where he claimed like, I don't collab with women streamers because I want to respect my wife.
Yeah, it was this whole thing, but I feel like Ninja's thing was a little different because most of his fans are 14.
I mean, but what does that have to do with anything?
Most of his fans still believe in cooties. You know, so so that's why I think that's why he bounced back. I don't know a person above the age of 17 that watches Ninja.
That's a valid point. I just think, I think that response or that kind of like sentiment is a cop out.
Yeah, 100%.
Like if you can, do people not realize you can be friends? You can be platonic friends with women. Is that an issue?
Bro,
just not understand that.
And it's not even like being friends in person. Most of these streamers don't even live in the same area. It's like, it's very weird. It's like your girl can't get jealous if you're playing Valorant with another chick.
Like, and like, are you that scared that you don't have any self-control, that you can't talk to another woman that's not your wife who lives X amount of miles away?
Again, you're on a game. It's not even like you're seeing them.
On a fucking video game.
Yeah, it's like this. It's weird.
Nah, bro, that's crazy.
So yeah, that was a little quick gaming news. This week.
That shit's weird. I just think, again, I just think that it's stupid to believe that you can't be platonic friends with women. Like, there are literally like,
Yeah.
I mean, the amount of like female friends that we have or have had in the past, like just over, I guess, however many years of us knowing each other, it's crazy.
Yeah, dude. I'm friends with one of David's friends, and I've never met her, but I'm still like platonically friends with her.
Oh, exactly.
Yeah.
I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. But I think the biggest takeaway from this whole thing, I think, is, big ups to Tarek for standing his ground. And being like, "Nah, dog, you're wrong," in front of all those people.
Because that just shows like that's a real friend. Like, or even even if you guys like end up falling out and whatever, and they don't really talk to each other anymore, like at least he is saying, hey, like, that's not cool. Like, you can't do that shit.
Yeah.
And they may preserve the relationship, the friendship, and still be cool afterwards. But like that's like me and you. Like, we obviously would tell each other if something is wrong.
Yeah.
And so that either of us are doing is wrong, and we have before, and it's like, and nothing's changed between the two of us. Like, we just say, okay, we take each other's advice, whatever, we move on. Like, but I don't know. I think it would have been really bad had Tarek been standing by his dude and giving him a bunch of excuses and cop outs as to why he's doing it or whatever. I think that's really fucked up.
Yeah. So,
but again, good big ups to Tarek for standing his ground and not letting shit slide like that. So yeah. I guess so. Moving into our a big topic I want to talk about today. Both of us have finally seen JJK Zero.
Yes, sir.
So since I read it in the manga already, and seeing it again in theaters is really cool to me. Seeing that whole thing animated. So Zoe being the anime only of the two of us, what did you think of it?
Okay, before I get into the good, the biggest thing I felt, I think I texted you during the movie.
Yeah.
It felt like it was supposed to be an arc, and then they decided, let's make this a movie. Like, the beginning, there was a lot of parts that felt like, okay, this is the start of an episode, and this is the end of an episode. They just felt stitched together.
True.
But even then, it wasn't like bad. It's just that's how I felt. It felt like Mugen Train felt more like a movie than the beginning of JJK Zero.
Okay.
But what I really liked about it, I liked them finally explaining Yuta, because it was cool in season 1. They don't talk like they talk about him. They don't ever say like he's the most fearsome whatever blah 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 blah.
Yeah,
they just
exactly.
talk about him here and there, and you're like, whoa, what is this? And then you finally see his powers and shit. And I like that.
Exactly.
You know, towards the end, it's like his power isn't just being cursed with the little girl. Like, his power was giving that curse that power. What the fuck was that?
Sorry, I don't know, bro. People were just like running it in my hallways of my apartment complex. Like, so it got some loud ass steps. I don't know what's going on. Like, homegirl is stomping. Oh my god. Okay, sorry about that.
No, you're good.
But yeah, I get you. Yeah, so like at this point, currently for me, like I already know who Yuta is.
Sure.
And like I've I'm literally like currently in this current arc of JJK right now, manga wise. There's been like 4 or 5 chapters specifically on him and what he's been doing.
Oh, cool.
So like I already kind of know what he's gonna turn into. So it's gonna be pretty cool for you to see when that eventually gets animated. But I definitely see what you mean with it could have been like a TV arc. I get it, right?
Yeah.
I just think that like they really had to capitalize on, one, the popularity of JJK, 2, how much information and story arcs there actually are across like what they want to do for season 2.
Yeah.
Because like just, and this is not necessarily a spoiler, but kind of like so JJK Zero, hilariously enough, is like the, not a one shot, but like a prequel in the way where Geiji didn't mean for it to turn into JJK. Like those two are 2 separate stories. Like it's Tokyo Metropolitan something high school is Yuta's story, and that was like a standalone story. And then he just took the concept of that standalone story and turned it into JJK.
Whoa,
So
really?
like, yeah. So like those two, like originally when JJK first dropped, it was just chapter 1 that started with
Yuji and Fushiguro.
Exactly.
Okay.
But then when it really blew up, it got popular, especially when it got an anime adaptation. Shonen Jump added JJK Zero, those prequel chapters, onto the story.
What? Oh,
Because
shit.
it was a standalone story, and then they got like it wasn't originally JJK Zero, is what I mean.
And
it was
so
something.
when they added, they kind of changed some stuff around, and they made it him go to Jujutsu Tech or what?
Exactly.
Is it Jujutsu Tech?
Jujutsu Tech is still, it's like all the names and all the concepts and stuff is all exactly the same, but
Oh shit!
like,
so it's in the OG.
yeah, but like it was meant for Yuta's story to start and end there.
Huh.
Like,
Oh, so he
obviously-
wasn't supposed to be a part of Yuji's story.
Not necessarily like because people, there's like a discourse online now about who's the better main character, who's the real main character of JJK, and it's 100% Yuji because that's who it's
his
focused
story
on.
now.
So what I mean by like my previous statement is the original prequel is Yuta's story. It begins and ends with him, and JJK is Yuji's story. It's gonna begin and end with Yuji. Yuta is just a big part of it because he's another side character in the story. Like his story's already completed. you already know who Yuta is as a person, as a character. You already know that stuff. So like,
Sure.
there's no need to expand on him, especially and even the side characters from the other like, or in JJK, the Jujutsu Tech like group, like Panda, Inumaki, Maki, and even Gojo too. Like
Yeah.
you already know those people. You already know their motivations, kind of. Especially not really with Gojo yet, but you kind of already know the motivations of Maki, Panda, Inumaki. You already know them from the prequel, and so you bring them in, and you don't really have to expound on their stories either because you already did it.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, like, that's one thing I thought was really cool, like, just, like, a cool tidbit for that. But I could definitely see what you mean by it. So, getting back to my, like, original point, what season 2 is probably going to start on is Gojo and Geto's story. Like, not their origin story.
Them being
but, like, the
friends and
story
shit.
of them two being friends, yeah. And so, like, and what happened, and there's, like, other characters that are going to pop up in there. So they would have had to make a decision. They would have had to, like, squeeze Yuta's beginning story and that story together.
Yeah.
And then wait until season 3 to make the Shibuya arc, which would,
Take too
fans
long.
would probably take way too long to get started. Because, like, who knows, like, what's going to happen in a couple years. You know what I'm saying? You never know what's going to happen.
Sure.
So, like, they would have to do that or just make JJK Zero its own movie and then focus on the prequel for Gojo and Geto for, like, maybe, like, 5 or 6. They might do it, like, make it, like, 9 episodes. Maybe not 9. Probably, like, 6 episodes. And then everything else could be Shibuya and then continue the Shibuya arc in season 3.
Yeah.
That's just my thing. I mean, they could. I don't know. I have no clue what they're going to do.
The thing with JJK Zero, it did, like I said, the beginning did feel like a few episodes stitched together. But since they fit everything in like an hour and a half or whatever, how long the movie was,
Yeah.
it wouldn't work good as a season. It would probably only be like 5 episodes. It felt like 5 episodes.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, and I can see what you mean with like Mugen Train, because Mugen Train just kind of flowed through how it was going, and then considering the fact that like I read Mugen Train, I didn't obviously I really watched I watched the movie once, and then I read Mugen Train like before the movie came out, so it was one of those things where I kind of saw the flow of everything move a lot better that way, just in a movie standpoint. So yeah, I could definitely see what you mean. I do think though that I had a better experience watching JJK than I did Mugen Train, and that's just that's a personal take for me. That's not really like a.
I like the story of JJK better than Demon Slayer. So I think I agree. I think there was more interesting lore in JJK Zero. Like, holy shit, Geto and Gojo are friends. Oh fuck, Yuta's kissed this fucking. Okay, wait, hold on. My first thought, he kisses, what's her face, Rika, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, okay, that's weird. But then when she gets uncursed, she's still a child.
I mean, that's the time when she cursed him.
I know, but am I the only one? I literally told my friends, he technically kissed that child.
Oh no!
Am I the only one that like is bothered by this?
I think it's not a good look for Yuta. I will tell you that much. But on either side, no matter if you separate the child from the demon or keep them on both, it's still problematic or it's still weird either way. I mean, you can't really. I think it's one of those things where obviously Rika was cursed as a child, so that's the form she would revert to when she got uncursed.
Yeah.
So it makes sense. I just think like Yuta is okay. I say Yuta is smarter than what he actually lets on.
Yeah,
sometimes.
I think he didn't. He was being a little player there.
He definitely manipulated Rika into whatever by showing that overt affection. The funniest shit, and I laughed when I read this in the manga too, when Rika like picks up Maki and like runs away with her, and he was like, "What the fuck are you doing?"
Yeah. I laughed.
like,
I
dang.
laughed when after he kisses her, Geto goes, "Womanizer."
Yeah, because he's not wrong.
Yeah.
He's not wrong. He making Maki blush, having these like underlying feelings for Maki, and then all of a sudden,
Bro, that scene with Panda was funny.
that shit was hilarious.
Maki,
bro.
you have a chance.
You have a chance. Panda's hilarious. Both of them, I think, you really get to see like, I guess them as first years is a lot and see them like grow through.
Yeah. They all
that
have
and
different
getting to go.
designs. Like Maki has like the leg warmers.
Yeah.
Inumaki has like his collar instead of like a mask.
Exactly.
Gojo
yeah, I
Gojo
think
has a white headband. I don't know why his turned black.
because I don't know. I think probably like I guess a style change maybe, and then because again, this is like a prequel. It was like a standalone story, so Octokami probably decided to like expound and change Gojo's design a little bit.
Yeah.
So for the real version of JJK, so that's probably what it was. I will say this though, like the way Mappa animated the fights, that's one thing I think is amazing.
God.
So manga fights in JJK already are really cool to watch. Like they're very well drawn. The art style is crazy. Like they really show you the fast paced and hectic nature of the fights in the manga as far as just the fighting in general. It's really cool how they're drawn. But and executing that is really hard to do no matter what anime adaptation it is. So for Mappa to really just go crazy with all the animation, with like how Yuta looks with Rika fighting, Geto's final version of Uzumaki was crazy.
Yeah.
It's like I don't know. It was so crazy to see that.
Gojo beating the brakes off of Miguel was so fucking sick.
Yeah, he was playing with him though.
And
Like,
the thing
at
is,
any moment he could have killed him.
And I don't know if this is like a super small touch that maybe only I noticed, but most times when anime characters are like moving that fast, they're like yelling.
Yeah.
Bro, Gojo is so mad he had a straight face on, just fucking pop 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 like that,
Like
straight
just
face.
piecing him up.
And homeboy, I always forget his name, but he works for Jujutsu Tech. He makes the veils. He's very wimpy.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. I forgot his name too.
He says it. He goes, "Oh shit, Gojo snapped."
Yeah, he's pissed.
Yeah.
Like, it was so cool to see that. Obviously, that fight between Miguel and Gojo was like a little like people were. He's not gonna beat those racist allegations. I'm sorry. I feel. Okay,
What did he mean by foreigner?
I mean, he's not. I think people got like super like weirded out about like, I guess the supposed racism in JJK Zero, and I thought we were being funny.
I thought it was a joke.
I thought it was a joke.
Yeah.
I thought we were being funny.
Yeah.
People were dead ass serious.
Oh no.
No, like okay, because like when he's like, oh, he's a foreigner.
Yeah.
No shit. He's
from
African in Japan.
He's from Africa.
What the fuck are you talking? He's from like I don't forget where Miguel's from exactly, but
I think isn't he Kenyan? That's what he says at the end.
I think it's Kenyan. Yeah, he's Kenyan. So like he's a Kenyan in Japan. What do you mean?
Is
he's
foreign.
a foreigner. The fuck? And then like obviously Ghetto's, phrasing with monkeys, right? Okay, look. I am fully aware of the stereotype and the
he is a villain.
the slur of using the word monkeys. But you got to understand that's not a form of from Ghetto. It's not racism, it's prejudice, and it doesn't have to do with race either. It's about people who aren't Jujutsu sorcerers, who don't use cursed energy.
But also, he's the villain. So if
if
anyone's gonna be shitty, it would be the villain.
Right. So like I think people are just. I thought we were playing. I thought we were just playing around.
Same.
Like obviously he calls people that do not use cursed energy and are cursed energy deficient. He calls them monkeys. Like he calls Maki a monkey.
Yeah.
Is Maki black? Absolutely fucking not. You know what I'm saying? And it's like I don't know. I thought we were playing. And Gojo beating Miguel up. He gonna face some Zoro territory in a minute. This is hilarious. It was funny. It was so funny.
Did I send you that TikTok? Yeah, all my homeboys a little racist, and it's Zoro.
It's Zoro in the corner. That shit's funny.
My friend George hasn't seen the show. That's why I asked you if you need to see the show.
You need to like this is technically a prequel, so you can
My
watch
boy-
that and then watch there's a show.
My boy Sevi has seen up to episode 8, so right before the arc with the I forgot the kid's name, the kid that everyone wanted Yuji to be friends with, and then ends up
Oh,
I forgot
oh
his
my
name,
god!
but
Hold on,
he's on that arc.
Jinpei. Hold on. Junpei.
Yeah.
Junpei. Sorry.
So
Junpei.
he's on that arc. So when the people from the other school showed up, my boy Sevi goes, "Holy shit, they have Iron Man!"
Iron Man.
Dude, he blasts something out of his hands.
That's true. He hasn't gotten to the part where Mechamaru has like other shit up his sleeve.
Yeah.
I get it. It is what it is. That's funny. Iron Man.
Yeah, I told him, I was like, "Oh, that's right, they have a robot."
Yeah. Then you get to see my goat, Nanami, come in with the 4
Yeah.
consecutive black flashes, which was super dope.
Yeah.
One thing that I thought they were going to do that they didn't do, which kind of didn't annoy me, but it was like I was kind of bummed they didn't do it. Because remember how they talk about Todo killing like a bunch of like special grade demons, and then in that like night parade of 100 demons or
Yeah.
whatever,
Yeah.
they don't show him really doing it. They kind of just have him in there, like saying, "Oh, I'm just gonna go fight because Takada-chan is on at like whatever time."
Yeah.
He's like, "Oh, I gotta go get to the TV before
She's
she goes
performing
on,"
the
or whatever.
Christmas
She was-
special.
Exactly. So, but I wanted them to show him like
Do more.
killing all of these special grades, but they didn't show it, and I was
Yeah.
like, "Ah, that's tough."
My
what
friend,
it
my
is, though.
friend was disappointed that Gojo did. There was no domain expansions.
But okay, again, so going back to the fact that this is a prequel, like a standalone story, technically.
Yeah.
I don't think domain expansions were things that were a thing yet.
Sure. Oh, okay.
This could just be purely just me assuming.
It's a
but like,
year.
I don't think
a year before Yuji, right?
just about a year before Yuji. So like my thing is this though, like I think again all the concepts and stuff of JJK 0 became what JJK is right now. I don't think domain expansions were a part of that yet. I don't think Octokami had even thought about making domain expansions yet. Because again, JJK 0 was a standalone story.
Standalone.
So like nobody using domain expansions is pretty par for the course because we're not. This is like a prequel story, so we're not sure if anybody even like has it in that specific story.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like obviously, yeah, like it sucks that you didn't get to see not Infinity, but Infinite Void. Didn't get to see any kind of like you didn't get to see Ghetto doing a domain expansion. You didn't see anybody really doing anything. I get it, right?
Sure.
But you know, it's just one of those things where it's a prequel story, so that might not have even been part of the power system in the first place.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So it's just kind of one of those things. But again, I enjoyed it.
Yeah, so did I.
Them adding animation to certain parts that in the manga might not have happened, or adding extra stuff that might because you got to fill time. You can't just make it shot for shot because it wouldn't be that long. So like I think it's really cool. Like Maki and Yuta's fight with the staff and like the bamboo sword was really cool.
Yeah, it was.
Like people definitely got super hyped when Maki like flipped over and then hit the split like on the landing and then like Maki's a fucking G. Like,
Yeah.
I just think she's fucking fucking really cool. So I think she's like one of the better female shonen characters.
Yeah, she's cool. She's badass.
I definitely think she's
She's not Tamaki or Iris.
No, it's funny enough. You're on the Fire Force journey. We can definitely segue into that because you brought it up. How's the watch going for Fire Force?
I'm on episode 10 of season 2.
Nice.
Dude, it's so fucking cool. Fire Force is so just pure like badassery all around.
Yeah.
I love the power system that you talked about a few episodes ago.
Yeah.
It's so fucking cool. I love Shinra as a protag. I like that he's not the dumb one. I like that Arthur Arthur's like kind of a main character, but you know he's more of a side character.
Yeah.
He's the dumb one, so it's not always like, huh? It's just like a little bit.
Like the main character trying to figure shit out. That's okay. You know what's funny? I had that same feeling when I first watched it too. Like, I obviously, you know, a lot of times with shonen protagonists, obviously they're going to be prodigies off the rip.
Yeah.
It is what it is, right? Like
Yeah.
they're always going to be a prodigy. Sometimes certain characters take longer to realize how good they are than others. Like it takes a while. It takes, you know, sometimes it takes some hard work, and or if people just kind of awaken this kind of power within them whenever they can figure it out, right? I get it. One thing I liked about Shinra is he's already a prodigy and is able to use his fighting ability like at his current level to the best of his ability already.
Yeah.
Like there's no like build up to him being like good. Like he's already very good at using his fire ability, and it just makes it easier for him to like work on his skill and learn new things. Like how far have you gotten in the second core? I know
the white clad just took Inca. She just agreed, and she just killed Panda, her boy.
Oh yeah.
So she's long gone.
So you've met Sho before, right?
Yeah. No, Sho was the end of season 1.
The fight in the Nether, right? You got to that part?
Yeah. No, I'm on season 2.
Okay, so you see what I mean with Shinra, like learning how to go go the speed of light off
speed.
top, right?
Light
speed, like understanding that, right? But the thing is, like he was already fighting well enough. Obviously, Sho is like on a different level than him. But
and I like
up to that point. Go ahead.
I like that he can't do that all the time. He did it because he got touched by Grace, but like figured it out. Like I gotta go faster. Like I don't know. It's fucking cool.
Yeah, I think it's So like his build up to that wasn't like I just obviously it's like I just suddenly realized how to do it.
Yeah.
Which is a part of it, right?
Yeah.
But it's also I feel like a lot of times with that sometimes in shonen it might not be earned. I think with this one it's earned because he's already good.
Yeah.
And like he's shown to himself to be a very good fighter off rip.
And he's doing like the hand things.
Right. So like it's not like he doesn't know the basics of fighting and does that in order to win the fight. He already has the basics of fighting and is good at it. This is just an added thing that he learned how to do.
You know what? I thought the fight between him and Sho is a better explained version of Jotaro versus Dio.
I can see
because
I can see how you're
Jotaro
saying that.
versus Dio is Dio stops the world and Johto finds out how to do it.
Yeah.
This one is Sho stops the world. Shinra finds out how to do it only because he got touched by Grace, and like you said, he's been learning how to fight. He kind of knows how to fight already. You feel me?
Yeah, I feel like so with the JoJo fight against Dio, I think he just was like, I think out of desperation he was like, I gotta figure out how to beat this guy,
And then
"Wait."
just randomly moves his finger.
Randomly learns like he can move because he can move that fast. I get it. Yeah, that might. Okay, so with that, like even Jotaro was already a good fighter before that. Like he knows how to use Star Platinum well enough. You know, he's had some pretty good fights up to that point. So his is still kind of earned. It's like not earned, but earned in the same way. Where it's like
it's earned but not explained, and that's what I like about the Fire Force fight.
True, because like he gets to what is the I've read through Fire Force and watched it so many times. I should know this, but he experiences that like that land of Adola.
Burst, yeah.
He experienced that Adola when he tried to like fight Sho.
When Sho showed him the evangelist.
Exactly, when he showed him what it looked like and all that stuff, and he was able to be like, I got touched by Grace and was in that land of Adola for a few seconds, right? Like that led him to being like, okay, I know how to do this now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so, which leads into like him being a better fighter, With Jotaro is like, okay, I'm stuck. Let me just shonen protagonist my way out of this.
Yeah, exactly.
Which again isn't bad. I'm not saying that fight's
Yeah,
bad.
I like JoJo. I like some of the Gaga songs.
I think the fight with between Jotaro and Dio is bad. I'm just saying
me
that
neither. It's hype. It was hype.
it's great. It's a great fight. But to Zoe's point, it's definitely not as explained on how Jotaro was able to do it. The only thing I can really say, I think I said this in a previous episode too, where since Star Platinum's main ability is speed,
not strength. Yeah.
not strength, it's just how fast Star Platinum moves, it would, I guess, it's justifiable that he could manipulate time and space because of the fact that how fast Star Platinum actually is. I think that's the only real explanation I can give it.
Yeah, it's just a whole different vibe because, like, when you find out Sho can stop time, it's like it's not that he could stop time, it's that he compresses the heat around him that makes it stop time and this and that and blah blah blah.
Exactly.
And then fucking Leaked explains it because Leaked was
Oh yeah, Licht is I like him as a character.
I like him.
He's good.
There's some fishiness behind him right now, because all I know right now is that he hangs out with Joker a little bit.
Well, like they explain that he worked for Hajime too. Hajime Industries.
Yeah.
So like, and obviously like Hajime Industry has been.
But we don't know. Yeah, I heard that. But we don't know anything past that. He works for Hajime, and he worked with Joker a little bit. We don't know anything past that.
And they kind of explain that Hajime Industries is very like corrupt.
Yeah.
In a way, so Licht working for Hajime, there's always going to be that weird air about Licht too, about what his motivations are. And it's funny, I really like Joker as a character too. I think he's great.
I haven't seen him too much. All I know from him is he runs into Shinra a lot, and he stopped Sho from killing all of them in season 1.
Yeah, his character and who he is, and his relationship to like the other characters in there, like get explained in season 2.
I was just about to say it. They've already hinted at it because of the OP for season 2. Because Burns' right eye is gone and Joker's left eye is gone, and they like connect.
Yeah, I hate LPs be spoiling some of the plot points.
Dude,
heavy, bro.
The second OP for the first season of Fire Force is perfect.
With the Screamo song?
It's a banger. 2, they don't show anything. It's literally just them just like going to a fight. That's it.
Yeah.
The OP for season 2 shows a fuck ton.
It shows a lot.
I already know that Joker's gonna fight Waka and Burns.
Yeah, it's annoying. It's kind of annoying. But
so every time I see the opening, I'm like, when is that fight?
Yeah, so I mean, obviously, since you've already seen the OP, it's not that much of a spoiler for you. But so Joker and Burns are connected. I'm not gonna tell you how they're connected,
Somehow.
but they are.
Yeah.
And then like when you get to the Hajime Industries arc of season 2, like it's super dope. Like I know you've already seen some of the characters from there too. I think in that second OP, I'm not sure. So like they're pretty cool. That section is pretty cool too as well. Yeah, go ahead.
I know this girl's important. I forgot her name, but the one with the crown around her eyes. Evil blonde.
It's not Inka.
No, Inka's the pink-haired girl.
What is her name? I was gonna make me so mad. 'Cause I literally.
I forgot her name.
Fire Force just ended, and as far as not just ended, it ended a couple months ago, manga wise, and it turned into probably one of my favorite like stories overall.
Sure.
It thinking back on it and rereading a lot of stuff, like it definitely, the landing stuck, but there are definitely some things that I think diminish it just a little bit. And I'm not going to, talk about it because it's just one of those things where you're just not watching it. And like, I just finished reading it. Mm-hmm. So like the plot points that I would talk about wouldn't make any sense to you at all. So,
because the manga just ended, is it gonna end on season 3 or are they gonna go more seasons?
Well, I mean, they haven't even announced the season 3 yet, so I have no clue.
I know, but I mean,
it probably would have to be like a season 4 type deal.
wow. Okay.
Especially if they do 2 cores, season 4.
So I got a
Because
lot. I
you
got a lot
gotta-
to go.
Yeah, because when season 2 you'll see what I mean when you see the ending of season 2, because they leave a lot of, like some stuff to hang on to.
Sure.
And they also kind of like set some stuff up for them to be like to move on forward, because literally right when season 2 ends with like in the manga, so to speak, they pick up right with a new plot point that basically like changes the trajectory of like how everything goes. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not to get too like deep into it, but like a certain character gets like captured, and which basically leads to something else happening, and then another big, like, it basically changes the story in a way to like something else. But because like you already are at the point where they're trying to like collect pillars for for second
They just got to
Inca, right?
the first pillar actually.
Have you got?
I just remembered they're in China.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So you're there. So you've already met Amaterasu, right? You've already seen like when Shinra goes berserk and Arthur has to fight him. Have you seen that part yet?
No.
That was
I have seen. I think Shinra's trying to go berserk. The last thing I saw was Ogun going nuts with like the flamey ink.
Yeah.
That's
okay.
the last thing I saw, and Shinra's looking at Amaterasu like, "Help me!"
Okay, I think.
Literally the-
Okay, I think I.
She was like, "I can only help you for 1 second." And the last thing I
Okay.
saw was him going, "1 second's all I need."
Okay, so I think that's not. I don't know if that's Amaterasu. I think it's like another.
It's another.
That was like the.
It looks like it. Yeah.
That was like the original like pillar.
Yeah.
That was like the original Amaterasu, and then they made the new one in. I could have sworn the new Amaterasu came before the old one, but I could be wrong about that. Because I know like there's a part where, and you might have it might come like after you see this, but like there's a part where Shinra and Arthur like fight each other, and it's because of something else, because of like something else going on. So,
Arthur did fight him in the beginning of the season.
okay, so like that's. Do you remember why? Because I feel like that's another part.
Someone in Adola made herself look like Iris, and
okay.
and
Yes,
then was trying to like
that's Amaterasu.
possess him. We don't where I'm at. We don't know her name yet.
Okay, well I might have just spoiled it for you, but either way, like that's like a whole thing. So like them trying to gather pillars together.
Yeah.
Is like a big plot point, like moving forward, and so like a story changes by the end of it, and it's becomes this whole thing. So with Fire Force ending the way it did, I really enjoy the story. Definitely some pretty sizable plot holes in
Okay.
it,
Sure.
but the way they wrapped the story up was nice and tidy, and I think it was a pretty good way to end it. And the way Akobu transitioned the story into something else, I'm not going to tell you. Well, I think I might have already told you when I got hyped.
I know what it transitions into, but I don't know
how it gets there.
Because
yeah, so,
I haven't seen the other piece of media we're talking about.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I feel like it's not necessarily. I mean, it's been out long enough to where it shouldn't be that bad. But
Sure.
like basically, the way it ends is basically like they kind of turn Fire Force into a prequel story for the events of Soul Eater. So
maybe I'll watch Soul Eater after I finish season 2.
yeah,
See
the
what's
way
up.
in which they kind of ended that's how they kind of make the ending nice and tidy. Is they kind of have that kind of ending story. So
Interesting.
that's basically how it works. But I thought it was great as far as the ending goes. Huge plot hole that definitely diminished my my overall rating for the ending. But other than it's still a solid story. I think if the plot hole was addressed earlier in the story, it would have been like a 9 out of 10. but I think this plot hole kind of makes it like a 7.5, 8 for
Oof,
me.
Okay.
So like, but I still love it. It's still, which is not, it's not a bad score. I still think it's great. But
Right now, where
Okay.
I'm at, Tamaki hasn't been naked, so we're good.
which is a plus. We're moving.
She has not. She has not been undressed in China.
Yeah, that's another reason why I got a 7.5.
They-
because how they wrap up her story is stupid as fuck.
Oh man, does she still get lucky spurts later on in the story?
Dude, that's her part of her character.
Oh man,
And the way, okay, I'm not gonna say anything about it,
sure.
about how they end it.
Okay.
But the way they end it, if anybody is listening to this and have heard the ending of Soul Eater, or not Soul Eater, Fire Force, and have read it and understand what I'm talking about, like, you know what I'm talking about. The way they address Tamaki's Lucky Ledger lore
Oh, that's
shit
what it is. Yeah.
is actually fucking stupid.
Oh man.
And like and you know, I love Akubo as a mangaka, but he missed the mark on that one big time. That was fucking stupid. But that's not here nor there. Go
Her
ahead.
being lucky isn't funny. It's everyone else around it makes it funny.
It's sexual assault.
Yeah, but
It's manufactured sexual assault.
the last thing I saw was she was leaving. She was praying with Iris, and then they're both leaving, and then she bumps into Vulcan, and like her robe falls, and she's just wearing the white thing, and
Yeah.
Vulcan just goes, "That's like see-through."
Or like when she just randomly trips and like jumps.
Those
and,
are
like,
so bad.
She like falls into Shinra's face, and he's like, or like
Those
it
are
falls
so
away
bad.
where he's like grabbing her ass. Like, it's manufactured sexual assault. It's like, what are we doing?
And they even know it because there was one where like she falls and then he like lands in her pants and he goes, "How did this even happen?"
Bro,
Yeah,
Like, oh
those
my
are
God.
bad. Like I said, the one where she's leaving the thing, that one makes a little bit of sense because you know her and Iris, they're like in white robes and like
yeah, that's a more fan servicey thing. You know, like they're like, you know, praying. The act of them praying is a
Yeah.
little bit, you know, suggestive, and then
that one. I
they
can
turn,
you
know,
get past that one. It's they're in the fight and then she's like, "Don't worry, I'll stop praying," and then her clothes fall off and it's like, come on.
it's in a serious moment too. In
Yeah.
a very serious. The fight between Shinra and Rekka, she ruins that shit.
Dude, but like I said, dude, the same thing happened to Iris versus Shinra versus Hinabi.
Yeah.
Hinabi burns off Iris's clothes.
Oh, it's about
I've,
Oh my god.
Is that her
Oh my
name?
god. Hibana.
Hibana. I said it wrong.
I can't believe I just butchered my
Captain-
I forgot my wife's name like that. That's crazy.
Yeah, fucking. Captain Hibana burns off Iris's clothes. That's why I asked
Yeah.
you when Rekka burns off Tamaki's clothes. I texted you. I was like, "Is there gonna be a girl in every single fight that just gets her clothes burned off?"
Any fight that Maki's in, it doesn't happen.
Fucked up. Maki's my favorite.
She's the best girl of the show, 100%. I like Iris, but it's definitely Maki. And
You know,
Hibana is a close second.
respect-
1A, 1B.
Respect for muscle girls.
Absolutely.
Because Shinra likes Maki and not Tamaki.
I think he's more, you know, leaning more towards Iris, but that's just me.
As of right now, he first gets like, in season 1, he gets kind of like, "Oh my god, this girl's really close to me," to Maki,
Yeah.
and he's always trying to be nice to her. That's where I'm at right now.
Yeah, sure. But yeah. Okay, so what are we looking at time? Okay, cool. You know, I can get this off. Okay, I have
Oh yeah,
a
you got a
rant.
rant.
I have a rant. Okay, so I'm gonna preface my rant and say that I'm not trying to be any kind of anime elitist. I'm not trying to be any kind of like I'm more superior in my anime fandom than you are type shit. Like, that is not what I'm trying to get at across with this rant. I want to also preface in saying that anybody's opinions and viewpoints on anime and their preferences on what they like is perfectly fine, unless it's lolicons. But we'll get into that later. That's a whole throwing that out. Okay, just if you are, if that's what you are into as far as anime, you have a problem. But anything else, I don't care. Like, horror, ecchi, slice of life, all that stuff. I don't care what you're into, what your preference is, and what you think might be good or not, depending on your preference. I understand that.
Rosendarum.
Right, exactly. I get you. I totally understand. Right. Here's my thing though. Some of you guys' takes on anime and what you guys like and don't like gets on my nerves so much, because I feel like you people have to basically, I'm just going to try to say, broaden your horizons on what you like as far as anime. Please. I'm pleading with anybody who's listening. Please, broaden your horizons when it comes to anime, okay? Not every anime that's good is going to be people fighting or people, dying or having all this violence and shit. That's not end all be all when it comes to anime. There are so many different genres, so many different things you could watch and enjoy that don't have any of that stuff. So preface today, scrolling through Twitter, and I'm not gonna screenshot it and put it on I'm not gonna send you the screenshot if you end up editing this. I'm just because it's kind of irrelevant. It doesn't matter. Yeah. But basically, this guy was talking about how My Dress Up Darling was, because the winter 2022 anime season top 10 rankings came out as the final week, because this is the last week of the anime season, right? So, Attack on Titan is number 4 on the list. Everything else is, I think it's an isekai, My Dress Up Darling, basically two or three romance anime and an isekai, I think are the three before Attack on Titan. So one of the guys, I don't follow him, but he tweets about, My Dress Up Darling is fire, and this other guy replies and says, oh man, I'll definitely add that anime to my list because it looks like it might be interesting. Then another guy joins in the thread and says, I bet I'm gonna check some of these out, but they better be boxing, i.e. fighting in there, or it's gonna be a no for me. Basically, essentially, he was like, they better be fighting in these anime. And the original post, OP, was like, nah, they're not fighting. You need to broaden your horizons on anime. Not facetiously, not in a mean, condescending way, just they're not fighting. You probably should expand your horizons on anime. Which is a valid point to make, suggesting that people should watch different types of anime to gain more of a perspective. And then, man, I gotta read it because it really made me upset. And for no reason, I shouldn't really be this upset about it. But what did he say? Oh, he deleted it. Or I think either went private or he deleted it. Fuck. Okay, whatever.
That's why I couldn't see it, bro.
It made me mad. Basically, he said that he's like, I don't want to watch 30 minutes of animation of 2D animations talking about some kind of melancholy plot point with no emotional depth or high stakes. I was like, what do you want? What do you is every that's how I know that all that guy watches is shonen.
Yeah.
Shonen battle anime.
Yeah.
And which is fine. If that's all you want to watch, that's cool. But to diminish the other versions of anime genres that are out there is just not cool. You can't do that.
Yeah.
Which also his statement makes no sense because he tries to say that fighting, high stakes, and violence automatically means
a better story.
Depth. Exactly, a better story with depth and all this kind of stuff. No.
Yeah.
That's not true at all. I can list off a few anime that have a bunch of really good fights but have zero fucking story that suck. Not the story doesn't suck, but there's no real story behind it.
Yeah.
You think about, you probably haven't seen this one, Zodiac War. Barely has a story.
Dragon Ball.
Dragon Ball. Okay, Dragon Ball has a story.
It's not the most compelling story. Let's be honest.
I will be the first person to jump on the DBZ slander wave, but I'm not gonna say that they don't have a story.
It's got
involved.
a story, but it's not like compelling. It's not interesting enough
Yeah,
to be
I mean,
like.
it's not any kind of in depth like story the way he's equating it to.
It's
That guy's equating it to.
Goku good, bad guy bad.
Yeah, or Goku good, bad guy want world destruction or world conquer.
Bad guy in
Goku,
space.
bad guy in space. So yeah, like so like Zodiac War is one. It's like a some kind of battle anime where like there's not much story involved there. Fucking God of High School has some of the best animation of that season, of that year, and it has a terrible story. The webtoon for it is really good, but the way
it's a
they handle it,
webtoon?
it's a very popular webtoon,
Oh,
which
shit.
it's probably one of the more popular webtoons like ever. But it's in fact it's currently like on its back end of the story, like it's about to end soon.
Oh, nice.
But the way the anime adaptation works, like there's no story really. Like they rushed a lot of plot points. They really were just like, we're gonna throw all of our XP into animation and that's it.
Yeah.
that's really all they did. Like, so there's that. Like having fighting or like just saying people are boxing is automatically gonna lead to the story being better makes no fucking sense.
Yeah.
Like you can say like, yeah, it's like, oh, like if it doesn't have any kind of emotional depth or any kind of intellectual storytelling like Attack on Titan, then I don't want to see it, right?
Yeah. That's a better.
I think
That's a better take.
Like, okay, yes, but also I think the concept of depth in anime and like and like I guess gaining something from it, like reading into things like that,
Yeah.
is depth is only as deep as you want to make it. Like you really could just take any anime at surface level and keep on moving.
Yeah.
It's only, saying it, the depth of an anime is as deep as you want to make it, honestly.
Yeah.
So by people making that point, it's kind of a moot point. Because like with Attack on Titan, I can say, oh, this guy wants to like save his race of people by becoming, the leader of all these Titans. That's really all. I could just say that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I could just so I could just kind of move across that
and not talk about like the what's it like the Nazi allegories and
exactly
and,
like the World War II mentions
Yeah.
the issues with racism and and imperialism and how and the concept of freedom
Yeah.
and the concept of destiny and how that relates to the real world. Yes, like Attack on Titan is a deep show,
Yeah.
but it's only as deep as you want to make it.
yeah.
You know what I'm
Agreed.
saying? It's only as deep as the consumer of the media want to make it. So by his logic, saying that just doesn't make any sense. And going back to my original point, like the reason why I say watch more anime is because watch different anime, not watch more anime, just watch different anime.
Yeah.
Is because it kind of gives you a perspective and change of pace on how other battle anime could be told better. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Agreed.
Like the reason why I like Attack on Titan for its depth and all that other stuff, and I think it does a great job with that. But also watching a story that also has the same, not this kind of a similar amount of depth to it, like it's not about fighting and shit. Like
Death Note is the
me-
best example.
Yeah, I think it's a great example. I think just the concept even with Death Note too, it's like it's as deep as you want to make it, honestly.
Yeah.
Like you get a kid with a god complex, and and like the concept of right and wrong, good and evil, all that stuff, and then you watch that, and you can watch an anime like Psycho Pass, where like it's the same thing with the concept of good and evil. Like how do we judge somebody based on actions they haven't even committed yet? You know what I'm saying? Like there's so much more stuff you can do, and then like with like I don't know, it's just like one of those things where you gotta just broaden your horizons a little bit and get a different perspective on anime in general. And it's just like one of those things where you gotta, I don't know, I respect his his opinions on anime because they're his opinions. I get it, right? But to slander other anime or to get defensive when somebody asks you to broaden your perspective,
Yeah.
broaden your horizons, watch new titles. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, since doing this podcast, I've had to do that as well with my own. Like, I already watch enough anime as it is, but
Same here.
Again, with me,
I'm having a blast with Dress Up Darling.
you see what I'm saying? Like, exactly. Okay, like never in my life would I be like, okay, I'm gonna watch My Dress Up Darling.
Dude, 2 years ago, I didn't watch anime.
Like, okay, but yeah, true. You really just didn't start watching anime until like 2 years ago. For me, like, I was always gonna be inclined to watch the battle anime.
Yeah.
Like any anime that had any kind of fights, anything like that. Like, I'm more inclined to watch that.
Yeah.
Which, you know, as a kid growing up, that's, you know, what you watch because that's the cool thing. That's the cool thing to do. It's a lot of action packed stuff. That's fine.
Yeah.
Since doing this, like, and the people that I met on Twitter, the mutuals I've gotten, all these other people that I've talked to that don't watch that stuff, and like hearing their perspectives on romance anime, horror anime, slice of life anime, all that stuff. Now I can watch that stuff and be fine with it, and I can enjoy that stuff.
Yeah.
And it gives me a change of pace. That way, I get more enjoyment out of watching the shit I used to watch, or the shit I currently watch, which is all the action-packed stuff. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like if you only are watching stuff like Naruto, Hunter x Hunter, Bleach, Dragon Ball Z, you're watching like I'm trying to think, My Hero Academia, you're watching Jujutsu Kaisen, One Piece, you're watching all these like battle anime all the time. It gets, man, I think it's the point where you just kind of get burnt out.
How do you not need a break? You know?
Like, yeah, you like watching all these just like heavily intense fighting, battle, power systems, all that stuff. Like, how do you not get burnt out by that?
That's like someone watching only Marvel movies and then being like, I can't watch a drama.
Exactly. Like, you gotta, like, it just, I don't know. Like,
Expand your horizons.
Expand your horizons, man. You know what I'm saying? Not everybody's gonna watch that stuff. Like, and even if you just, you know, if you don't like it, like, it's fine.
At least
right?
you tried.
At least you tried to watch it. Exactly. Like, so funny, like, flashback, like, way back, Anime After Dark did a trivia game show type thing. And it was so funny because, like, Anime After Dark, those people are also people that try to say, hey, like, watch more anime, like, watch different types of anime. You know what I'm saying? Those are the people that usually say that. Mm-hmm. And it was so funny because the question was about, like, it was a question where, like, it was like a prompt, and basically the answer was Fruits Basket. Okay, so the answers were Fruit Basket. But the way they asked the question, like, they were like, oh, this family, not family, oh yes, this family of teens has, like, each of them have a power based on the Chinese zodiac, I think, of the zodiac with, like, you know, the ox, the rat, you know what I'm saying, all that stuff. And they can turn, something happens where they turn into those animals. Something has to happen for them to turn into those animals. So the question's asked, and I know it off top. Even though I'm not participating in the trivia game, I'm kind of like in the audience, like, just listening. I know it. And, like, most of the audience, or not most of the audience, like, barely anybody in the audience knew it, except for, like, maybe, like, 4 or 5 people, including me. So people were giving off these terrible answers. Somebody mentioned, like, Zodiac War, which was not close at all.
Yeah.
Somebody mentioned, like, Saint Seiya, and I was like,
Deep pick. Wow.
I know, deep pick, but no. And then I was like, guys, do you not... No, it's Fruits Basket. Literally the number 2 rated show on Mao.
Yeah.
Or number 3, which are like it's like number 1 is FMA, number 2 is Attack on Titan, and number 3 is Fruits Basket. You know what I'm saying? Like,
bro,
watch more anime.
You know what's really funny? You met my boy George at a party.
Yeah.
You know he's in the Coast Guard?
Is he? I didn't know that.
He's got a new girl, and she watches a lot of anime. Like, she recently started watching One Piece and is on episode, like, 200 something. Like, she likes anime, but she started forcing him to watch Fruits Basket.
Fruits Basket is not a good. Okay, Fruits Basket is not a bad pick. I don't know why I was about to say that.
I know, but he doesn't watch like he came to JJK with us because he was like, I'm gonna hang out with my boys. He's not like an anime guy. He doesn't not like anime, but it's just funny how like he's sitting there with his girl and he's like, okay, cool, romance. This guy turned into a rat. What the like? It's a funny juxtaposition.
Yeah, it's great. That's hilarious. I think Fruits Basket is not a bad first pick to when it gets into like romance anime. And like when it comes to romance anime, like I've told you, I've only watched like maybe like one or two.
Sure.
I watched Love is War, which is hilarious. I love that. I love that kind of that type of humor and romance and that whatever. It's really funny. Fruits Basket is another one I've watched. I haven't finished it yet, but I plan on at some point watching it and finishing it. And then I watched a few episodes of Bunny Girl Senpai.
Which I want to start it. I've heard it's good.
It's good. And so like I haven't watched it, finished it. Again, romance anime isn't really my thing, but I have watched not enough, but I've watched some. And well, I guess My Dress Up Darling too. I've watched that. So let's like 3 or 4. So I've kind of broadened my horizons, watched new things, and I've gotten enjoyment out of some, haven't gotten that much enjoyment out of others, right? And it's hilarious, like when people ask, like especially me, just coming from my perspective on like what my favorite animes are. Number one, like Yu Yu Hakusho is definitely like my top 3. It was number 1 for a while, but my number 1 anime of all time is The Great Pretender.
Yeah.
And Great Pretender
not a battle.
Is not a battle anime. It's what would you even call Great Pretender?
Comedy drama maybe?
I guess like a drama, comedy. It's like heist. It's like heist.
It's a heist.
It's like an Ocean's 11 type joint.
Yeah.
Like that's like what the premise of it is. It's like a bunch of con men kind of going around and like scamming people.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorite animes ever. That's my number 1 anime.
Good pick. I love that show.
And like there's no like there's suspense, drama, there's a depth to the story.
Yeah.
Like if you really want to look deep into the characters as a whole and like what they represent to each other and just to the story in general. With Makoto, with Abby, with Laurent, with Cynthia, all those like with the 4 of them, like the way the story goes with them and how each section of the story of the season like focuses on them. I know, so like first season has to do with Makoto and like learning the people he's around. The second section has to do with Abby and understanding like trauma and losing people and like the like how trauma kind of forms a person's personality and outlook on the world. Number 3 is same thing with Cynthia, basically just dealing with the pressures of money and greed and how that affects somebody's livelihood and how it changes people. And then number 4 with Laurent, like how loss can impact somebody's coping mechanisms and how they move through life. You know what I'm saying? It's deep. It's a deep show.
Yeah.
And you can get a lot of good stuff from it. But you could also just watch it surface level and just say, oh, these characters are funny. This like Laurent's like an asshole, but he's a lovable asshole. You got like Makoto is always fucking shit up. Abby's like a tsundere, but she's cool. You know what I'm saying? Like you can have it surface level. You can have it really, really deep and really look into the psyche of these characters if you want to.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But you're not going to get that if you just watch battle anime all the time.
Even Dress Up Darling. You can watch it and be like, oh, haha, funny kids falling in love. When like the point of it is like, no matter what your gender is, you like what you like, you should be yourself. Like it's not the deepest story. I'm not saying like grade A storytelling, but there's some shit in it that you can take from the show.
Exactly.
That guy will never know because all he does is watch Michael Bay movies.
Right. Like if your outlook on anime is if they're not boxing, I don't want it. Stay away from me.
Yeah.
Stay away from me. I'm sorry.
He probably likes Transformers 4, the one with the dinosaurs.
Oh my! I haven't even seen that one.
It's not good. It's not good.
I don't know, but I guess I won't see it. Yeah, that's just me. I think, again, I don't want to come off as like this kind of like anime. Oh, I watch more anime than you. It's
Yeah.
no, like that's not what I'm trying to come out. Like if you only watch battle anime and that's like your thing, that's fine. You know what I'm saying?
Just
Like,
don't say stuff like what he said.
exactly. Like I would encourage anybody that's listening to this that only watches like shonen anime. I would encourage you to go watch more anime.
Yeah.
Like starting with Great Pretender is a good first anime to get into. Ranking of Kings, another one you can really get into that one. Even though they be fighting in Ranking of Kings, you know what I'm saying? They be fighting,
Yeah.
but you can get into that. You can get into Great Pretender. You can get into if you don't have to get into romance anime, but I would give Fruits Basket a shot. I'd give Bunny Girl Senpai a shot. You know what I'm saying? Just to see if you like it. What else? Like I would just some mystery anime, some horror anime. If that that's something you're in, like you like horror movies, watch horror anime. It's
Shit,
really
maybe
fun. They got
straight up
Uzumaki.
Comedies?
That too. You know what I'm saying? Like
Psychic K? That's a good one.
Psychic K is in my top 10 too. But it's like I don't know. I just think you gotta expand. When people say with food, like you gotta
Don't be the chicken tenders
expand
guy.
don't be the okay. That's a great quote for that. Don't be the chicken tenders guy.
Yeah.
Okay. Don't don't be the guy that goes to a restaurant. Don't go to the guy that goes to an Italian restaurant and orders chicken tenders.
Yeah.
Like that's like as far as anime, if you only watch Battle Shonen and shit on other anime, you are the guy that goes to an Italian restaurant and orders chicken tenders. 100%.
Yeah.
That's what we're gonna say. So yeah, I just had to get it off my chest. Yeah, if I get there are so many like anime I can think of that people probably would like that they're not boxing in.
Sure.
That I think people would like, and so like I don't know. See if do I have any? I wrote them down. Do I have any of my own here? Let me see. I mean, most of them have like stuff where people are fighting. Oh no, not even. So, Odd Taxi. They're not fighting in that one.
Oh, that's a great example. That's a good one.
They're coming out with a movie
Into the Woods.
in the spring season,
Yeah.
and it's gonna expand on the ending, which you haven't finished it yet.
Not yet.
So you need to fucking finish it.
Sorry, it's like reading a book. I'm sorry.
Fucking finish it. Okay. Great Pretender. Appare Ranman, okay, is one of my favorite anime ever, and it's about racing. It's not like Initial
never heard
D
of
is
it.
another one too. It's very like niche and underrated, but it's not like Initial D. It's like more cartoonish in nature.
Okay.
But it's like people building their own cars and racing them across the United States.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
And it's like a cross country race, which is really like the Great American Race, like kind of like that deal. So like that's the whole premise behind it, and there's some fighting in there. They be boxing in there too, but like that's not the main premise. Initial D, one of my favorite anime ever, one of the best like nostalgic and retro anime ever, is about niggas racing cars downhill.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? There's other stuff you could watch that are really good that you just gotta broaden your horizons a little bit.
Sure.
So yeah, like I mean, so most of the anime in my like best favorites list are ones where people be fighting, but I have a few that I definitely like that you should probably look at. So, so yeah, you got anything? You got anything else? Anything you want to rant about? Because I got that off my chest. I'm good now.
Nah, not really. Not this week.
Okay, cool. You got any music recs for today?
Ooh. Okay. So I listened to the Nego album.
I'm not
Tyler,
the Creator, ASAP, and Pharrell Clips too. And Pusha T carried that. Everything else, every other song on there kind of sucks.
Yeah, dude. I kind of don't like the song with Gunna. I don't at all.
Not really.
I don't like the song with Teriyaki Boys that much. But what I'm gonna say, I like the song with Uzi. That's a good song.
Not bad.
But anyone listening, you gotta hear the last song in the album. Come on, let's go.
Come on, let's go is great.
Oh my fucking god! It's Tyler again doing his thing, making a song about his girlfriend being late. Not even like.
Yeah, he hasn't. He's been so consistent lately. So you know,
Tyler doing his
that's
damn
definitely
thing.
a big.
That one.
It's a big one.
Shit. Can I recommend 3 singles instead of
That's
an
fine.
album?
Fuck it.
Child of God by Chance,
Fire.
bro. That's the shit he needs to stick to. Don't do no hot shower shit. This is the Chance that made me a Chance the Rapper fan. You know, acid rap
Yes.
type shit. And Rat Race by Noel Miller. It's a good song.
Yeah, Noel is. Noel's. If in case you don't know, Noel Miller, the people probably know who he is already. He's
TMG,
gotten
Tiny
big
Me
enough.
Gang.
Tiny Me Gang, Cody Ko, Noel Miller. They're the podcast. Noel, not necessarily going solo with his music, but just kind of taking his music career more seriously.
Yeah.
I think he does a really good job. I think he's a pretty. I mean, he's a good rapper. You know, he knows how to flow well enough. Like he's like been improving over time with his project, and the most recent project he came out with, like his like debut EP, was like actually really good. I definitely enjoyed it. So, so yeah, definitely check out Rat Race. It's really cool. For me, what was I gonna recommend? Okay, so the Melt My Eyes, See Your Future album from Denzel Curry is a very good album.
Very good album.
We may, review it on a jukebox episode at some point in time. I'm not sure. But the song that I want to, 2 songs off of there that I want to like push, Troubles featuring T-Pain, probably one of my favorite T-Pain guest verses of all time. Like he really killed it. The song in general is fire, but
Yeah.
he really killed it. X-Wing is really good too. One song is funny. I'm not a huge Gunna fan, but Gunna would have been really good on X-Wing.
Okay.
And then you see what I mean?
Yeah, I see
And then what else? Oh, I'm gonna throw it back a little bit. So I don't know if I had recommended this song or not, or in an earlier episode, but I'm just gonna recommend it again because whatever. Refills by Trapo. Trapo is one of my favorite artists of all time, and is an artist that practically nobody knows about.
Oh my god, Trapo's good.
Besides like me, you, and like my little brother, like me, the 3 of us, the only people that really know who Trapo is. I feel like more people need to know who he is because he makes good fucking music.
Shit. If you're listening, listen to his whole discography.
His whole discography is really good. I think it's the collective albums and EPs. He took one of his EPs off of streaming, which hurt me. But he still has like Shade Trees and
Shade Trees. I think Shade Trees is a good starter.
Yeah, and then Ford Four Door is really good too. And so like he's coming out with some new music and dropped a single called Refills, which is really cool. I think one thing with him, he's really good at is kind of building, like making metaphors and like being able to tell a story in a way that's more metaphoric in nature. So like when he talks, so like Refills, I think the line is like build-in prescriptions to pop shit is real, which is like a dope fucking line because it's like, where it's like people talking about like, like gang violence or violence because, black on black crime and other stuff like that, where like people just trying to, make it in this kind of rough world as like a black person, trying to, violence is is an issue that we need to get through as far as a race. So it's kind of like a cool thing like that where people are just finding new ways to just get offended and mad about another black man doing some stuff that's, it's kind of like a crabs in a barrel mentality that you don't need to have. So really dope single from him. So yeah, so the Denzel Curry album, if you could listen to that too, it's fire. But Troubles and what are the ones I had? Troubles and X-Wing are fire, and then Refills by Trapo. So okay, so pretty good on time. So that's pretty much everything we have for today. Again, thank you guys for listening. Because you don't have to. Thank you guys for downloading because you don't have to. There are people. I kind of every once in a while check the demographics of the podcast and see what's going on. A lot of people from different parts of the states that are downloading our stuff. From Virginia, from obviously from Georgia, Florida, got some other people in like different states in the Midwest, even people out in the West, that like have downloaded our stuff a couple of times. So even people randomly in like Europe too, which is weird.
Nice.
But it's pretty cool. But
What are we looking on? What are we looking on? Genders.
I don't know. I can't check that. I didn't do it like that. But it is what it is. Whoever is downloading our stuff, I appreciate it regardless.
Yeah.
So again, if you listen to our stuff and you like what we're talking about, please follow us on Twitter, so we can see you guys and we can interact with you guys. At Nost NOST plus Ultra is me on Twitter. At Andre Alonso 17 on Twitter for Zoe over here. We appreciate any shout outs or any feedback you guys give us as well on the podcast, what we can improve on, what we need to do better. It's greatly appreciated. Also follow us on Instagram too, at Nostalgia plus Ultra, all one word, super easy. And then shout out to Famico Online is the Discord server that I'm in as Nostalgia plus Ultra. They've got some pretty cool stuff, a lot of black collective creatives going together and helping each other reach certain content creator goals, as well as shouting each other out and just overall having a good time in that Discord. So it's pretty cool. So shout out to you guys. You guys are super dope. And that's all the time we had. I've been Nostalgia, as told by Zoe. We'll see you guys next time. Peace.
Peace.